Hey world, Bradley from MWC.net, and right now I just wanna kind of do my wrap up. This is long overdue. Mobile World Congress finished last week in Barcelona, so this is my wrap up, my thoughts, what I liked from my favorite devices from MWC 2016. First off, they didn't have much what I was expecting. It was there. Well, to say I expected more tablets in the sense that they didn't really show up. Only I think two manufacturers, Huawei and Lenovo, brought out tablets. I didn't see any from Samsung. I didn't see any from LG. I didn't see any from HTC. I didn't see any Samsung. Nothing really. Only Huawei. And while we on the Huawei, let's talk about the MateBook that came out. It's a 12.1-inch device, display 2160 by 1440. There are 4 and 8 gig RAM versions, 128, 256 and 512 gigabytes of storage, USB Type-C, running full Windows 10, and has a keyboard and stylus which Huawei call the Mate Pen. I guess they're going like Apple as a pencil, the Mate Pen, that's what Huawei calls it. And this is really going after Surface territory, in my opinion. Huawei is really on that role and they're going in that direction in terms of, hey, they're going to take on the Surface, head on to Microsoft, be on the guy. And hey, iPad Pro, we're going to take you guys on too. So Huawei is really pushing themselves forward, and Huawei said the next 5 years, the CEO said next 5 years they want to be number one. So can they do it? It's not impossible, but they kind of work for Samsung and Apple doing that. So we're gonna see how in 2016 they have to blistering start in 2016. They just use the Honor 5X and they have a bunch of them. This Huawei MateBook is a step in that direction. We see what direction they're going. Lenovo also, like I said, is running tablets that have the top 3 devices, 10-inch, 8-inch and 7-inch, all running Android Marshmallow out of the box. Now the 10-inch, which is 10.1 inches, it has 32 and 64 gigabytes of storage, internal storage. Of course, we have micro SD, of course, and 3 gigs of RAM. The 8-inch is 16 gigs internal storage and 1 and 2 gigs of RAM options, and the 16 and the 7-inch only has 16 gigs of storage and 1 gig of RAM. So you know where, if you're on a budget, you know where you're gonna go. But the tab 10 is really towards the power users, really. So that's on the high end of the spectrum, high end of the scale. So we're going to pay a good bit of money for that. It has a media core processor, like I said, micro SD, 8 megapixel rear facing and 3 megapixel in the front. On the 7-inch, 5 in the back, 2 in the front, which also falls on the 7-inch, the 8-inch and the 7-inch, same camera. And battery, in terms of battery, that's the 10-inch has a 7,000 mAh battery, and the Tab 8 and Tab 7 has a 4290 and 3400 mAh respectively. So that's Lenovo and the tablets. So we have Huawei, we have Lenovo. That was the 2 main manufacturers that brought us tablets at MWC. Like I said, I was expecting more. I was going to see a little more tablets here and there, but hey, they didn't show. Maybe later on this year we're going to see tablets launch, and we're going to see what else that comes up. HP came off the Elite X3. That was HP's device, and HP said, hey, we're going to make a statement, making a bold statement this year, and that device is expected to launch in Q2. So they really plan on, they said, hey, look at, we've been absent from the game for a while. Let's step back in, and let's step back in big time. And they're doing it with the X3, the Elite X3, running Windows 10, Windows Mobile 10, and it's a powerhouse. It's a beast. You got an almost 6-inch Quad HD AMOLED display. It comes in dual SIM, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes internal storage. It's expandable, of course. Like I said, Windows 10, 16 megapixel on the back, 8 in the front, Snapdragon 820 processor, USB Type-C, Bang & Olufsen stereo speakers, and a 4150 milliamp battery. That thing is a beast. That thing is gonna sizzle. We're gonna see how this really, and it's gorgeous. You're gonna have Microsoft the iris scanner, and you're gonna have a fingerprint scanner also on the back. So this is a beast. HP said, hey, we're coming back. We've been absent, and we're coming back, and hey, here you go. Here's what we're bringing to you guys. So let's see how this works out for HP. It's gonna launch in the summer, so we're gonna see how that works. Sony was there also, and a little sad news from Sony. Rest in peace, Xperia Z. But they replaced it with the Xperia X. Now the X Performance, just the X, and the XA. And XA is supposed to be the lower line, the lower tier, the more affordable models, and the X is in the middle, and the X, the Performance, is high end. They're all running Marshmallow, they're all 5-inch displays. Snapdragon 820 processor on the big boy, the big bad boy Snapdragon 820 processor, so something like that. That processor is there, 3 gigs of RAM, we got 32 gigabyte storage option, 23 megapixel cameras, and it's Sony, they said, hey, okay, we killed the Z. The Z is no longer our flagship. Let's go to the X. Let's move. It's a new chapter. They say turn the leaf, turn in the page. It's a new chapter in our mobile life. So that's what Sony has really, that was Sony has brought to MWC, and that's what, we don't know if anything else is gonna come out from MWC yet, but this is what they have at MWC for the showcase. And if we love Sony, I love Sony, and I that's why I'm sad to see the Z line die. But if X is the next step, then kudos to Sony, and let's hope they really push this and market it really well and make it available. That's the problem. The devices were not that available, so let's hope they make the X devices, the X range, really available to everybody and affordable at that too. Let's move on to Idol, to Alcatel, and the Idol 4 and the 4S. If you remember the Idol 3 from last year, it was a great device, well received, and that orientation. You can hold it right side up or upside down, and you can still make calls, receive calls, and it basically functions the same way. You can turn it off, but that's a neat option. I remember the stereo speakers in the front from JBL, which plays really loud, and in my opinion, that's the only speaker that's come close to HTC's boom sound. These JBL speakers are nice. So what they did with the 4 and the 4S is that they not only put the same orientation is there, but the speakers in the front, they also put another pair in the back. So in case your phone is face down, the rear speakers fire up, the stereo speakers fire up, so you never miss, let's say, a call, or you listen to media, or you play music or something on the rest of your phone face down. Your speakers won't be blocked. It comes up in the back, so you still get that same rich JBL sound. Apart from that, the 4 and the 4S are kind of different. The 4S being high end and the 4 is regular. Now, 4S is a 5 point. Both of them are 5.5 inches space, but the 4S is Quad HD and the 4 is regular 10. Excuse me, regular 1080p. both runs Marshmallow, that's great. The 4S Snapdragon 612 processor and the 4670 processor. The 4S 30 gigs of storage, 3 gigs RAM, the 4 16 gig storage and 2 and 3 gig of RAM options, 16 megapixel in the rear, 8 in the front in the S, 13 and 8 on the 4. My accessory speakers, and of course the battery life 3000 on the 3000 milliamp hour on the S and 2610 on the regular. Now you know these are mid-range devices, so don't expect to be priced so high, and and also that they stepped up the build quality also. Instead of the plastic, it's glass, metal and glass now, so we've got that premium feel in the mid-range line. So I'm looking forward to the 4S. I really want to see that phone, and actually I wanna that 4S. I played it the Idol free, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful device. So we're gonna see how that works out. For Alcatel, I know it's gonna be a great deal. It's gonna be a hit, especially for the budget-minded people. You know, a great device. This device, go for it. Great, wonderful. You're gonna love it. Yes, you will. Now, a company from China. I don't know if you've heard of them. Xiaomi. I bet you have. And the Mi. There it is, the Mi Mi5. The Mi 5. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful device. Like I said, a lot of manufacturers are going premium for 2016 with premium build, and Xiaomi is no exception. Metal and glass. That's what you get. Kind of like the S6. Metal and glass, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful device. It is. You got 5-inch 5.15 inch. I don't know why you just go 5.2, but 5.15 inch 1080p display. It runs Marshmallow. Underneath the MIUI 7.0, so you get that skin on top. Snapdragon 820 processor, Adreno 530 GPU, 32 and 64 gigabytes of internal storage. There's two versions of it. The regular and there's a pro version. The regular would be for about 300 and the pro would be about 4. So we have 32 and 64 on the regular, and then we got 128 internal storage on the pro version, 3 and 4 gigs of RAM respectively, 60 megapixel on the rear, 4 in the front on both of them. With OIS, we got USB Type-C, which presents fast charging and vehicle for 3000 mAh battery. So Xiaomi is not playing this year. They're not messing around. They're saying, hey, we've made our impact in China. And hey, Xiaomi is loved worldwide. We love Xiaomi devices. We always love the Mi devices. The Mi 1, Mi 2, Mi 4. Mi 4 is a great device, and now the Mi 4. And then also the Mi 4S also, which is like a update to the 4, right? So this is great. This Xiaomi is really, they have been making it in China. They're not coming there. They're on top there, the top 5 in China. So they're nothing to scoff at. They're nothing to play with. And Xiaomi, I think the Mi 5, a lot of people I know are looking forward to getting a Mi 5. They already plan on ordering it. So we're gonna see how, and I have no doubt that when that phone is released, it's gonna move, I think. But also on a little note, also a little sign up before I jump into the big boys. If I go to the big boys, we had LG and Samsung. They came out with their own 360 cameras. Samsung is called the Gear 360, and LG is just 360 cam. There's no particular name for it. And both of them basically do the same thing. We got two 180-degree cameras on either side, and they stick the 360 shot together. So you can take a 360 photo, a 360 video, Both of them work on the devices, work well, work wonderful, connect via Bluetooth, and you're good to go with that. So that's 360 out of the way. But the big boys, the bad boys, the stars of the show, Samsung and LG. These guys release two different devices, totally. Let's talk about Samsung, because in my opinion, the G5 was a star at MWC. That was my personal favorite. The S7 and S7 Edge from Samsung. The S7 is what I would call an S6 refined, a refined version of the S6. What the S6 should have been, that's what I would say the S7 is. We got micro SD, which was missing on the S6, and a lot of users have that was the biggest, that was one of the biggest beefs about the S6, and it's back to Samsung is really listening to the customers, really listening to their fans. Brought micro SD back. The battery was in a weak point. They beefed up the battery, 3000 and 3600 on the S7 and S7 Edge respectively. They jumped the screen size 5.1 and 5.5. So I guess, I don't know if the Edge Plus might come out later this year, a bigger Edge, 7 Edge, but I guess they want to leave the 5.7 inch range for their Note. I guess that's what they want to do. You know, of course, the Note 6 is coming out later this year, but they also brought waterproofing, sealed it, not an dust resistant, so I can take an occasional drop in the pool, pick it up for about 30 minutes, and you're good to go. Wet fall in the sink, the kitchen sink, you're okay. In the shower, you're okay. In the corner shower, you're okay. So Samsung is really has done that, and a lot of people are gonna love that. What else it has? Quad HD display, Snapdragon 820, 4 gigs of RAM, of course, Marshmallow. It got an always on display. We got a nice little section of the screen always on, to your time or your notification. It's always on. You have that section, and there's also customization. I guess you could download different pictures. I guess you could really customize it to really suit your needs, really suit your tastes. 32, 64 gigs of internal storage. And of course, we got micro SD, 12 megapixel camera, 12 dual megapixel camera on the rear and 5 in the front. Now, you may say, well, last year I had 16, and they dropped down to 12. That's like a downgrade. Not really, because the dual pixel really allows more light in and better quality overall. So you're gonna get the same level, you're gonna be on the same level of performance as last year's device, and it got same 4K recording, OIS, fast focus, everything is there. They got wireless charging in there, and wireless charging, and also fast charging. Not 3.0, because there's now USB-C, fast charge 2.0, which is still good, which is still great. So Samsung is really listening to the customer, listen to their fans, and they really refined the S6 with the S7, and the Edge on the S7 Edge is really stepped up. Samsung has really worked on the software, and TouchWiz has been toned on really nice. TouchWiz looks beautiful. I was not a fan of TouchWiz, I was not a fan of TouchWiz, honestly, but on the S7 it looks really great. It looks gorgeous, it looks nice. I might get an S7 and I might not put the Google Now launcher on there, probably keep TouchWiz, use TouchWiz for a while, and hey, and with the features on the Edge, at Edge now, with the paint and all the extra goodies they actually put in, yo, you will not want to leave TouchWiz. You don't want to forget TouchWiz. You're gonna need TouchWiz to enjoy everything the Edge provides. We got news feeds, we got your contacts on YouTube, we got your favorite apps, and the rose is bigger now. Well, it's a tiny space, but now it's like double the size now. So it's really cool. And also it's open to developers, so you might probably in the store you might probably see some third-party developers taking advantage of that Edge display. So you're gonna really enjoy that. If I have to go for the device, I'll go for the S7. Of course, we got a 3600 mAh battery, which is extra power, which is good, which is wonderful, which is great. That should last you good. And that camera, if it's as good, if not better than last year's, it's wonderful, right? So Samsung, kudos, you did a great job with the S7 and S7 Edge. On to my star of the show, the G5 from LG. I was not expecting that. I wasn't. I don't think many people were. The leaks, it didn't leak as much as Samsung's. It's over the S7. And we saw mock-ups of what the G5 might look like. So we knew the dual cameras were coming. We knew that. We knew the magic slot was coming. We knew that. But we didn't know the build until they presented a full metal build. And it's gorgeous. It's nice. Believe me, it's nice. 5.3-inch Quad HD display. It's really nice. And got dual cameras, 16 and 8. So you got that. So and it really utilizes very well. So you can they kick in automatically, and they kick in great. They do what it's supposed to do. I think this is the first manufacturer, in my opinion, to really use dual cameras to its advantage. You really improve your picture quality, you really improve the functionality of the camera and your pictures. So that's great. And of course the manual controls on the G4 is still there, and it's still great. It's still one of the best manual cameras out there. Except the Lumia. I still give the Lumias were the first to introduce manual control. I still give the Edge the Lumia, but hey, Android manufacturers are catching on. They're catching on. LG did that, and it has it always on display, just like the Samsung S7. It has Snapdragon 820 processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 2800 mAh battery. I wish it was bigger, but it's not. And and of course they have their friends. We got a rolling bot, which is a cool device. It's like a ball, like you see. And it has a camera, it has speakers, it has an IR blaster, it has a laser pointer to play with your pets, to chase your cats. So it's really cool, and it's like a security ball too. So you can be at work, or you can be somewhere you hook up to a Wi-Fi connection. It's always on at your home, so you can start it up and go around your house, see what's going on, see any disturbances, etc. Everything is okay. That's great. And also it's fun for you, fun for your pet, fun for your kids, etc. There are some VR glasses which connects to it. It connects to the phone by a USB-C port. That the phone doesn't go in like cardboard or Samsung's Gear VR. It's a totally separate accessory. That's that. And LG also had two other friends, a camera module and music DAC from Bang & Olufsen, which improves your music playback quality, which improves the audio output. So you get that if you love music, your audio file, this is going to be great. You put it at the bottom, it slides out, press on the button, the button comes out. Now, I wish the only problem I have with the G5 is I wish LG had put in just a little battery, just a small auxiliary power source. That would have been perfect. You have that small auxiliary, because the problem with it is that you have to take out when you have to turn off the phone. They advise you to turn off the phone. So you gotta turn on, shut down the phone because you're removing your battery. So even if it's removing the battery, it's gonna go. But to prevent maybe failure or something, once you switch off your phone and you switch, you change, you put in the camera module, which adds an extra battery capacity. So you increase it to 800. I think it's 1200 or 1600. That's the battery capacity in the camera module. So kind of like, so it adds battery life. So you know, if you have that on, you're snapping pictures, the 2800 might not be enough, but that extra battery capacity right there, so you can increase like, and snapping pictures, believe me, it's going to take a toll on your battery. Snapping pictures and recording in 4K, that's going to take a toll on your battery. So glad that's there, glad they thought of that. Like I mentioned, the Bang & Olufsen also. But like I said, I wish it was had an extra power source. So in case I see I'm somewhere on a trip and I really need to, I want to put in that manual control. You have a manual shutter, a video button, and a click wheel for it to rotate, for it to zoom in and out. So you got some nice cool manual control that added functionality. And check, you know, if I see something, just take out, snap in, and my phone doesn't go off. But I guess it's new. It's new. LG tried something new, and we'll see how well it's received by the public. But initially, it's great. I love it. That's me. But if I have to get one, if I have to get the G5, and I have to choose one of their friends, I'll go for the Bang & Olufsen. That's my opinion. I love my camera, but I can deal with the screen control. I can deal with the controls there. I don't really need like a manual focus, a manual shutter, all that. I don't really need that in my opinion. Other people will, but I can deal with the software. I can deal with the screen option. But the Bang & Olufsen, that music, that DAC, put that in, stick my headphones in, and I'm in my own music world right there. So that was it, folks. That was it, guys. That was my MWC wrap up, my take on MWC. A little late. I wish I could have done that sometime back, but hey, I was busy doing other things. But that was it. MWC is over. It's done. Until next year. Well, we're back again, but also there's other events coming up. The Apple event is coming up. Apple has an event coming up in March, where we're gonna see the iPhone SE or 5 SE. Don't know yet, and we're gonna see the smartwatch, the Apple Watch 2. I didn't see my smartwatch. I didn't see any smartwatch at MWC, which is bad. I think one Samsung had one, but that was like late. We almost missed it. Just they're not really a smartwatch. They're like a kind of a fitness tracker thing. So not really a smartwatch, but we didn't see any of that. So, and Apple has an event coming up. Google has I/O coming up. There's other trade shows coming up. We know later on Samsung is gonna announce the Note 6. So that's coming up. And if on these events, all these shows are coming up, we're gonna see more smartphones, more smart devices. HTC was there. HTC had the Vive. They showed the HTC Vive. They showed that off and just announced at $800. And as of filming this earlier, it's sold. They sold a lot. When they open pre-orders, they sold a lot. But HTC has an event coming up for the M10, and we might see a smartwatch from them maybe before the M10 is launched. Might see the smartwatch. So that's something to look forward to this year also. And the rest to come. I mean, I'm sure Huawei. Oppo has an event coming up soon in March also. Has an event coming up soon. They're going to announce the R9. I think it's the R9. They're going to announce that. Where they promise to have a great camera, a killer camera, so waiting to see that. So you see, MWC is the mecca. That was that's the show. But the life goes on, the year still goes on. So you know, manufacturers are still devices that are going to be released later on, and hopefully I'll get to cover it. I'll get to bring it to you, present it to you guys like I did. As much sleepless nights trying to get MWC coverage on my Facebook page, on my live. So if you not like my page, I'm not being on Facebook, check it out. Ton of coverage, as much coverage as possible, as much coverage that was presented to me. I was not there, so I had to rely on other people to really push the coverage and then present it to you guys. So that's it. So until later this year, these events, Bradley from mysalad.net, I'm out.